Welcome back to another episode of the Inside the Distance podcast. I am your host, GK, the fight analyst, and this here is my man, Aaron the dog. What's up, man? How's it going?
It's going well. Another Hail Mary parlay from the Contender Series, which if you listened all the way through our breakdown and joined me on, you hit for a little over 1,700. I think it was
1,800, right? Plus 1,800.
I'm losing track at this point, but it was 1,800, and I didn't have to pick one actual victor. All I had to do was choose over or unders. So for 4 fights, and that's it. And that is simple, easy 1,800 cash. Show me an easier plus 1,800 that you can find anywhere, and that really no one was telling me it was like ridiculous when I put it in. Some people were like, "Oh, Rivera is going to finish or something," which, I mean, sure, there were some close ones. And, hey, Ty Flores, I owe you money for being so damn tough, bro, because my heart was racing. I don't know how he survived or why he survived, because there was no way he was
legit a zombie. He was a zombie, bro.
There was no way he was winning that fight, and we're not going to cover the Contender Series too long here, but, I mean, when you hit 1,800, you just gotta
gloat about it. You're allowed to gloat about it.
And also, I mean, I put it out there for everybody else too. And like, I'm not a professional here, so it's like I don't think there are too many professionals who are gonna do an over/under for a full card, even if it was just 4 fights. But hey, I'm here to make money, and that's what we did. So yeah, it felt good coming off last weekend when I had the Green by decision, Luque inside the distance, and Brunson inside the distance, which, paid out even better than that. It was
plus 3,800.
Plus 3,800. So, and I'll have another one on this card, and I'll be tweeting some out for you to retweet. So make sure to follow Garrett, because honestly, my Twitter is just mostly like movie talk. I'm not an MMA guy. I am an MMA guy, but not professionally like you. As you can see with my bare walls here. But anyway,
no, you're good, man. We'll get there soon enough. We'll get that green screen up and running. Don't worry.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this card. Again, shout out to Derek Brunson last week. I was on him the whole way, and he really, really made me look like a smart man. But didn't get blind. I had a couple of huge dogs I was in love with early on this card, which I will admit, and I'll talk about as we get to it, that I fell out of love with. So I used my heart to protect myself in the end. But
hey, anyway, maybe you're using your brains more than your heart.
It's a little bit of the combo. It's a little bit of the combo here. I mean, I think
that's why I'm here. I'm here to help. Yeah.
I think it was a pretty smart play to, if I was going to bet Green last week, I knew I was only betting him by decision, and then
that was the only possible scenario.
Adding a Luque inside the distance. Look at Luque's UFC career. Dave talked about earlier in the week on Fight Bananas.
But that value on Randy Brown, though.
Yeah, exactly. Where are all those value bettors now on Randy Brown?
Right?
Tell me all about that.
Great value.
Sprinkling it away. Yeah, sprinkle it away. But and then Brunson, I can't exactly say I envisioned it going that well, but damn, Brunson made me look. I mean, that was the final decision, was deciding on Brunson, because I was on Brunson by decision because it was a 3-round fighter inside the distance. I thought he was going to be able to step on the gas a little more with it being 3 rounds, and I think that was the case. I think he was in great shape. Yep. I think he could have went 5 rounds. I think he fights a very different fight if it was 5 rounds. So
yeah,
that was
agreed.
But either way, I'm ready to break down these fights.
We had a great weekend, and we're here to cash out again. That'll be 3 straight weeks of winning events, guys. 3 straight weeks. I'm up over 30 units in those 3 weeks. I am the #1 handicapper on flippick.com. So the plays are documented: 20-5, 80%, 28% ROI, and a profit of $2,100 in the last 3 weeks. So we bring that into this week, and this week's breakdown at UFC on ESPN plus 32, Lewis versus Oleinik. We're going to start on the preliminary card. right now in the bantamweight division between Ali Al-Kassi and
Sure.
Erwin Rivera. Right now, Rivera is a minus 170 favorite, and the comeback on Ali is a plus 150 underdog. Who do you got in this one?
So if I was betting on this one, I would take Rivera. He did look pretty good against Giga, weight class up last fight. What I was more impressed with was his fight prior against Danny Sabatello, where he went 4 rounds and ended up putting him away. Danny Sabatello is a really, really good guy. If he's not in the UFC already, I don't know if he just signed with.
Not yet. He's just the Titan FC champ right now, but
okay, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if he he's on the cusp of signing or having a Contender Series fight very soon. And
I think he might. I think he might have a Contender Series fight.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. But either way, Danny Sabatello, really good guy at ATT, good wrestler, and Rivera ended up finishing him in the 4th round. But I mean, it was a really good fight at Titan FC, and overall, Rivera was looking pretty good going in there. Al-Kassi, I just don't know anybody he's fought. Some fights, Al-Kassi is completely bald and hairless. Other fights, he looks like just like a normal dude with like. It's really odd, and I don't really have a gauge on him. He's got some submission finishes, but I think Rivera is the better guy. So I'm not betting this fight. Rivera's like minus 185, I believe. So probably can, maybe Rivera decision. Maybe that will be part of like a greasy shot I take, to justify taking a shot with Rivera. But I don't see a finish either way. So it seems like Al-Kassi is sub or bust.
I don't know, man. I think I'm taking the under 2.5 rounds just because it's the first fight on the card, and they're both debut fighters in a small cage.
Okay.
I feel like there's value there. It's something with these like the first fights on the cards are normally they go under. It's just weird, but I do like the under there at plus money, and I'm definitely not taking the side here. If I was betting, I would bet Rivera, but I'm not. I didn't touch too much on this fight because I couldn't get a good read on Al-Kassi at all. I couldn't get too much tape, so I didn't want to read too much into this fight. So next up, we have a fight in the featherweight division between Peter Barrett and Yusuf Zalal. Zalal is a massive minus 430 favorite in the comeback on Barrett. It's a plus 345 underdog. So this is basically telling us that the public does not think Peter Barrett should be in the UFC. Should he be in the UFC?
I don't want to be that harsh with it, but when I first saw this line after, hitting a plus 3,800 and a plus 1,800 and all these big parlays and hitting the big dog in the main event, like I'm coming into this event, I'm like, oh, I know where all the dogs are. Every dog I'm betting is gold. I'm going to hit the biggest dog on the card again. Once you hit the biggest dog on the card, you want to like do it again. It feels so good. And I'm like, okay, Peter Barrett, here we go. Debuting guy. He's got a year off. Slippery Pete. Slippery Pete is called that because of the way he fights. That's what I thought before doing my tape research and everything. I'm like, there's something about him that's like, oh, he's like tough to keep down, right? Or no, not so much. Slippery Pete just has to do with him having a lot of success with women as a child, like in his youth, and his dad calling him Slippery Pete. I learned that, and then I watched this fight and realized it definitely didn't have to do with his fighting. He's like he's a KO or a bust here, and that's the price you're getting at this. And Zalal could be a bigger favorite. The only thing keeping like me from like fully investing in it, although I think I'm being talked into a parlay with him, to be honest, doubling up with him because like he's pretty surefire here. He is 22 or 23 years old, so like there's still the possibility of a youthful mistake. But Peter Barrett isn't the one who's going to expose that and be able to take advantage of those. So Zalal is 9-2. He's lost to 2 like pretty wrestling heavy, one judoka guy. Neither guy fights anything like Barrett, and Barrett is only in the UFC, I think, due to what's going on with the corona epidemic and needing some fighters. His fight on the Contender Series, he had a possible 10-8 first round, But he came back and he really showed his toughness too. So, but yeah, I can't take him. I got Zalal, and Zalal probably finishes him inside of 2 rounds, I would think. I would probably take the under 1.5, to be honest with you. I think Zalal is just miles better.
It's under 2.5.
Oh, beautiful. I take it.
Yeah. But it's literally Zalal or pass here. Like Barrett has no chance of winning this fight. He's just not good. He's hittable. He's literally a human punching bag. He doesn't grapple well. He's been finished numerous times. It took him 7 pro fights to finally fight somebody with a winning record, and he was only 3-2. Yep. So he's literally fought one good.
Lost some bad guys, gotten finished by some bad guys. Yeah.
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 He's been finished numerous times.
It was all
level 6.
Exactly. And honestly, like I still do feel that Zalal is gonna slowly kind of get over as a result of some pretty fortunate matchups, but this isn't the spot where I'm gonna fade him. I will fade him at some point in the future. I really will, and I think there's going to be a really good shot for an underdog here eventually against him because I think he's going to continue to be a pretty sizable favorite for a while here. But this isn't it. So as long as Zalal is taking this on slightly short notice because Barrett's original opponent, Steven Garcia, had to pull out. But
I heard he's just been staying in shape anyways, and
yeah. I mean, he's 23 years old. Like also, and like he looks like he just kind of is. I'm not worried about. Yeah. So I mean, I'm gonna most likely wait till weigh-ins just to make sure there's nothing weird before I invest in my parlay on him, just because that's me. And like I'm looking for any reason not to believe in Zalal because I'm just not a fan of him personally. But money is money, and I'm gonna make the right decision with my bet. So this matchup I got Zalal all day. I think he finishes him by submission.
Yeah, I'm pretty much telling everybody to anchor Zalal in every parlay. Just even if you want to straight bet someone, just throw him in there because he's not losing this fight. He's just not. I'd be highly surprised if Barrett will come away with a win here.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I've spent quite a while researching this fight because I was trying to fall in love with Barrett as the underdog here. I really was. And Aaron the dog is saying there's no dog here.
No dog here. No dog here.
No
All
dog
right.
Barking.
Next up in the featherweight division, we have a fight between Gavin Tucker and Justin Janus. Right now, Tucker is a -120 favorite, and the comeback on Janus is a +100 underdog. Ton of line movement in this fight. Tucker was a -200, 220 favorite, and it's now a pick'em. Who's winning this fight?
I think I kind of missed the bus on the Janus bet. And sometimes I think it's okay to miss that quote unquote value here because it did kind of allow me to look into this fight a little bit more. Tucker, his last 2 performances have not been great. I'll be honest. Obviously, Rick Glenn murdered him, like absolutely beat one of the worst.
And then had to take 2 years off after that.
Yeah, at 32 years old. Or at 31 years old, missing like a huge amount of his prime. That's how badly he was beaten down. Questioning if maybe the prime is completely gone here. And then he faced Sung-Woon Choi, I think, in a pretty favorable matchup, even though the guy's a taller, featherweight. I mean, no real takedown defense, and that's what kind of ended up saving Tucker in the end here. Here he goes against James, who's never fought at 145. So, like, that's a complete unknown. This guy's fought at, like, 170, 165, 155. Fought his last fight, obviously, against Camacho at 155 on short notice. But he's also the wrestling coach at Team Couture. So, I'm not sure what Tucker's plan is to get him taken down, how he's going to keep him taken down, how he's going to end up getting a submission on James, who doesn't really look like he has a neck, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like he's just like kind of doing these round, stocky wrestlers who just goes in there, throws power shots.
And
yeah, I think and he defends takedowns. He's fought some decent competition. I think he has far less damage on him than Tucker. And I wish I could have gotten the line when it was huge. I think even now, still at plus 105, taking James is totally reasonable. It's just about his condition at 145, which is really keeping me from fully recommending it. But I got James, honestly. Like, I kept thinking Tucker. I kept talking Tucker. And even before the podcast, I was talking with you, and I was like, I'm leaning Tucker. And I talked with you even a little bit more about it. And I actually don't know how a damaged, weathered Tucker, 34 years old at this point, too. I don't know exactly how he wins this fight. I think James is going to come in there and
I think James is like the fresher fighter. He just looks in better shape. Mm-hmm. He has a lot of fights, which is crazy, but he doesn't look like he's battle worn. He looks fresh. He looked good against Camacho. At 155, he went headhunting with Camacho and took him out within seconds. That was impressive to me. Extremely impressive. And then Gavin Tucker, he won his last fight, but he was getting teed off on for the 1.5 rounds by Choi. And I think James has a lot better brawler.
James has a lot more power. He can't take those shots.
And James likes to brawl. And Tucker doesn't like to brawl because he's going to brawl right back, and he's just going to get his lights taken out.
James is going to be stronger. It's absolutely. Unless this cut kills him. That's the only thing. He's never fought 145. And if that cut
I think he's he's better everywhere. He's got the wrestling background. He's got the striking. He's going to be the stronger fighter. Gavin Tucker should be fighting at 135.
I agree. I'm just saying if James comes in looking like Al Hassan on the scales, then
that's a different story.
Yeah, and
that's why we might scale it back.
At this point, I miss the bus on the value on him, so I can wait to see fully his condition before I commit to him. That's what I'm doing. I'm waiting to see him on the scales. I'm waiting to see him not looking. I want to see him looking energized, looking like he wants to be there, and everything like that. I want to see him looking like the guitar here. I want to see some air guitar. As soon as I see that air guitar, I hope he's still plus money. If he's not, then I'll have to make some decisions on him. But you win some, you lose some. But I like James here. Another one I like inside the distance.
Yeah, I'm thinking of sprinkling something on James by KO.
Yep.
I think that would be very good odds. Actually, let me see what those odds are. So James by KO or inside the distance, whatever. Plus 240. I like that.
Yeah, love it.
I like that a lot. That's small money. Cage.
If it was I almost wish it was plus 225. That's my magic number.
And the under 2.5 rounds is only is plus 125. Wow.
Yeah, I don't
see this going the distance. I really don't.
Yeah, I mean I really don't either. So
I might take James inside the distance plus 240. I think that's a very, very solid play.
Yep, that may be part of my greasy parlay.
Yeah, that's a very good one. But that's one of 4 dogs that I have on this card. So I think this would be a very dog heavy card, and I got an even juicier one coming up soon. But next
we agree on
up,
that first dog at least.
Yes, we do. So next up in the middleweight division, we have a fight between Andrew Sanchez and Wellington Turman. Right now, Turman is a minus 155 favorite, and the comeback on Sanchez is plus 135 underdog. What do you got in this?
Here we go.
Middleweight
All
fight?
Right. Well, here's how my mind's working for this fight. You're not going to get this analysis anywhere else. You will only get this.
only get on inside the distance.
Yeah, on inside the distance from Aaron the Dog's THC ridden head. What I'm imagining in this fight, I'm imagining this is the Ultimate Fighter This is the finale right here. Wellington Turman, the young Brazilian, making it through the house. Andrew Sanchez, I'm aware he won a season of the Ultimate Fire set. That's probably why I'm thinking of this. But for some reason, he's back in the Ultimate Firehouse. This is the finale. Andrew Sanchez is not losing the Ultimate Fighter finale to Wellington Turman. So I just think he's a tiny bit better in every department, except for youth, where obviously he's the older, but they both have like kind of similar types of gas tanks here. They both have similar wrestling, similar stand-up. I just think Sanchez is going to do enough in those first 2 rounds.
He just got enough to win the tough house.
Yeah, he's got enough to win the tough title again. So I'm going to take Sanchez. He's going to hold on, probably win the first 2 rounds, and both are going to kind of not want to be there in the 3rd round, and then it's going to, go to a decision. Sanchez will win 29 or 30 each. He'll win either 2 or 3 of the rounds. 3rd round, really neither one's going to win, I think. They're both going to be exhausted by then. Sanchez will be in a little better condition by training at TriStar, I think, for this fight because he got stuck in Canada basically for a while. But I think maybe the change will be good for him. I'll take Sanchez. I like that he's the dog here. I don't know how you can bet Turman as a favorite. I understand staying away from this one too.
I don't know how you can bet Sanchez as a dog or a favorite, or how you could bet Turman as a dog or a favorite. I'm not going to bet on this fight at all. This is complete and utter pass. I couldn't get a read on it. There's nothing showing me that Turman can get taken down. It's also not saying that he can defend takedowns either, so I don't know about that. And we know that Sanchez's gas tank is non-existent when it gets like 1.5 rounds in, and I am not trusting that cardio and chin when he's gassed because he's been knocked out when he's winning like 13 minutes of a fight like twice back to back. So I want nothing to do with
3
Sanchez.
years ago. 3 years ago.
Yeah, but it still happens. I don't want to be on the wrong end of him winning 14 minutes and 59 seconds. It gets knocked out the last second.
You know what Andrew Sanchez's odds were against Anthony Lionheart Smith?
Yeah, it was a -250.
-325.
Yeah, and I bet on him. I will remember that for the rest of my life.
Man, that's like, how quickly things change.
That's crazy though.
Like Zalal was what, a plus like 700 in his debut against Lingo? Wasn't he something like?
And now he's -425.
Now he's the GOAT. Now he's the next GOAT. We're gonna talk about another GOAT later on the card. I can't wait to talk about that one.
Betting recency though, like the betting recency, it's what you've done for me now. You know what I mean?
Yep, exactly. And sometimes you can really take advantage of that. So, good for you. I mean, they both have a win over Marcus Perez. So, the winner of this is the ultimate Marcus Perez beater. So, congratulations. Who was being treated like a god last week. That was funny until he got pulled.
I swear, you don't get any of this content anywhere else.
No. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm a little bit loose tonight. So let's get back into it. Nazaret's fight is next at 155. Nazaret Hasparet versus Alex Munoz.
Yes.
So this is another one of my more confident picks on the card. Munoz 6-0, Team Alpha Male wrestler. That sounds like a recipe for something I'm not betting for. Nazaret has had a couple, slip-ups, I guess you could say. But, I mean, the only way he loses this fight is if he gets absolutely dominated in the wrestling, and I don't see that happening. I think Nazaret's going to put some hands on this kid early and often. And this is another one. I think Nazaret finishes him. So I am going to be looking at Nazaret by KO or Nazaret inside the distance for myself. But yeah, I like Nazaret a lot here. I think it probably happens second round after like the first round, Munoz trying to wrestle and exhausting himself. Yeah, I like Nazaret.
Yep. I'm massively huge on Nazaret here, and let's really get down to it. Munoz, good wrestler, comes from Team Alpha Male. You know, you're going to get from them. They're going to wrestle and come forward. Okay, cool. You know, there's a lot of hype behind him because of his wrestling background. High school state champ in Texas, collegiate wrestler at Oklahoma State. But you look deeper into that Oklahoma State collegiate career, he had a losing record through his collegiate career. He wasn't this top level wrestler, All-American, national champion. No, he was just a wrestler. You know, okay, he was good. He got to D1. Okay, but then he goes into the Contender Series. He's fighting Nick Newell, who everybody knows has one arm. And he was able to take him down and not control him for 15 minutes. That shows me that he's not this dominant control grappler that people are making him out to be. He's only 6-0. He hasn't fought anyone remotely like Nasrat. And you're jumping from Nick Newell and Troy Lamson in his last 2 fights to a perennial top prospect in Nasrat, who's fought Marcin Held, Mark Diakese, Drew Dober in his last couple fights. And on top of it, in his training, he's training with one of the best wrestlers in the UFC, Mark Madsen. So you know he's getting that wrestling training in coming into this fight with Munoz. I think Nasrat's got this all day as long as he pushes forward and throws that leather out there like he did against Diakese. I think he's got this all day. He's going to absolutely wear him out and knock him out probably round 2.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, and he definitely, I think, you mentioned it earlier, but yeah, I think pairing him up with Zalal makes all the sense in the world.
Yes, absolutely.
Even money.
I love that.
Or
you're getting, minus 130. And we don't like using the L word here, but I think that is what you like to call an inside the distance lock.
Yeah, and I might make it a little greasy and do inside the distance for the two of them, to be honest with you, just to gamble a little bit more. But I think it will make it 3 at least plus 3. I would think, if not.
Oh
more.
yeah.
So yeah,
I like that a lot.
That's just me. I may do a little bit of both, to be honest with you. So. Yes. Yeah, but Nasrat, I mean, my only concern about fully investing in the inside the distance is that we saw in like the Thibault Guti fight, he fights in some wild kind of firefights sometimes with guys he should be going in there and just dispatching of inside around. So there's that with Nasrat, but I think the smaller kid
I think Thibault Guti is a far better striker than Munoz as well.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I mean, definitely. And I mean, most likely tougher as well, but we'll see. But yeah, Nasrat, either way, I like the play.
Yeah, he's
worth the price at minus 240. I think. I don't think it will get too much bigger than that. I think it's going to seesaw. I think there's going to be some people bet Munoz just because of the value.
No, I swear I know people are gonna take him because of that. Oh, he's a wrestler. He's training at Team Alpha Male. The D1 collegiate wrestler. Yada yada yada. He's plus 200. Let's take a stab. He's got value.
Yeah, if you can get
6-0.
If you get Nasrat around minus 2 or under, you're golden.
Put it this way: this would be Nasrat's worst loss in his entire career, bar none. This fight could be for his UFC contract.
Yeah, and it would be his worst
because you're not gonna stay on a roster losing to someone who's 6-0 when you have 18 fights in your professional career and you've got 4 or 5 fights in the UFC. You're not staying on this roster losing to someone who's 6-0.
Yep.
So he's fighting for his career here, and I think he's gonna come in guns blazing.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of guns blazing, let's go on to the next fight.
Yes. Next fight in the welterweight division, we have a fight between Laureano Staropoli and Tim Means. Right now,
so I have Kevin Holland and
really?
The next one on Tapology. According to Tapology.
I could be off. Let's go with that one then. Let's go with that one.
Okay.
So next up in the middleweight middleweight division, we have a fight between Joaquin Buckley and Kevin Holland. Right now, Buckley is a plus 350 underdog, and the comeback on Holland is a massive minus 440 favorite. Who do you got in this one?
Oh man. So I am not I have no interest in ever in betting Kevin Holland at minus 450. And all I hear is like more and more coming in on Holland here. And honestly, I think that this is going to be a very, very interesting fight. Joaquin Buckley comes in there and likes to kind of just go in and throw down, but the guys he's lost to, the Jackie Groth guy, not great, but he came back and avenged that loss in his last fight, got a knockout. And then his other loss was to Logan Storley, which if you're an MMA fan, you should know who he is. Logan Storley, one of the best wrestlers in the welterweight division in MMA overall. And as a result, Buckley decided to go up after that fight to 185. And so Buckley, not the tallest guy, he's only 5'10", but like goes in there and throws down. And I think he's going to be a dog that's going to fight for your money. And I think that Holland is getting massively overhyped due to one performance in 39 seconds against Anthony Hernandez. I think other than that, Holland has shown a lot of holes in his IQ and MMA game overall. And I'm going to sit back and wait for Buckley to be, but even if he doesn't grow anymore, I think Buckley plus 350, I'm loving it. I'm going to take a shot at the dog in Buckley. I think he can get in there and touch Kevin quite a bit. And the smaller cage, I think, plays a factor here. Holland just kind of willing to take fights over and over again is a really cool story, but I don't know if it can bite you, and I'm going to bet on it here. So I don't like the situation for Holland necessarily.
Yeah, this is my second dog of the night, and this is the biggest dog on the card, no less. Yeah. So this is one of the juiciest bets on the card. Kevin Holland, long, lanky fighter, uses a ton of kicking techniques to keep his fights at range. It's going to be really hard to do that here against Buckley, who's just going to come forward. Buckley, I know he's been knocked out early in his career, but I think that was just one blip on the scale. I think he's gonna come forward, gonna put the pace, gonna put the pressure on him. As long as he doesn't gas, and this fight is gonna be in a smaller cage, it's gonna be a ton of action, and he could put Holland away. He really can. He's got some serious power, and he's like the Hulk. He cuts a ton of weight. Holland doesn't cut a ton of weight, and it's just I can't take Holland at minus 440. That's crazy. You're calling him a lock? No. I don't think Kevin Holland's ever a lock because his fight IQ is just not someone I like to bet the house on. He just doesn't fight smart in there. And I don't think he's going to be on the winning end in this one. And I think we're getting a great price at plus 350. Taking him on DraftKings as well. He's the cheapest play on the slate. And then you can stack elsewhere, like taking Zalal and other fighters that we got coming up. Yeah. And then hack pressed and so on and so forth. But yeah, I'm taking
and then like just one more thing on Holland. You really go through and look at his UFC career, look at his fights in the UFC. The Gerald Meerschaert fight, in my opinion, Gerald Meerschaert won that fight. It was really ugly, but Meerschaert controlled the grappling throughout that fight, took him down quite a bit.
Meerschaert definitely won that fight, 110%.
Yeah, so you take away the Meerschaert win, and his wins are over John Phillips, Alessandro Di Chirico, and Anthony Hernandez. He's beaten nobody. And he keeps taking grappling competitions. He has an alleged black belt in BJJ. But when he gets down there, it's pretty nasty.
He can't get it there. That's the thing. He can't get it. He's not going to get it there against Buckley. No, he doesn't have the offensive grappling to get it there.
So I mean, Holland may win this fight, but I think that the odds are not. The odds are telling a story that's not necessarily true, which is that he's an absolute lock here, and there's no threat from Buckley, and I think that's just a little bit false.
Yep.
So I'm taking a shot at the dog, and I'm happy.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially at plus 350, I am all over that. All right, yep. Next up in the welterweight division, we have a fight between Laureano Staropoli and Tim Means. Right now, Staropoli is a minus 135 favorite, and the comeback on Tim Means is plus 115. Who do you got?
I'm going to stay away from this one because the line is telling me that Means is kind of dust at this point, kind of done. And I can't really disagree with what I've been seeing lately. I don't know if Staropoli is going to be the one to be able to push that and take advantage of that. Staropoli made Muslim Salikov look like a wrestler at points, which is frightening. Right. So, Means has got great wrestling, good grappling, good elbows, good submission. So he should be able to win this. He should be able to take it. I just don't know. I'm not going to bet it, but if I had to make a pick, it'd be Means.
I'm the same way. I'm not betting his fights too close, but I would probably take Means as well. He got plus money. He's fought better competition, beaten better competition, smaller cage. As long as Tim Means gets on the inside of kicking range and uses length for his boxing, he's got really good boxing. I think he's going to be able to land on Staropoli all day. Smaller cage helps a lot too to cut off the kicks because Staropoli literally is a kick-heavy fighter, and he needs that distance. And Tim Means likes to push the pace and get in your face and likes to brawl. So I think he's going to bring the brawl out here. It's going to be a good fight, though. I do agree it's going to be a very, very good fight, but I'm not one I really want to place my bets on.
Yep. Yeah, I'm okay sitting this one out and watching it. It could be an entertaining one. Could be fight of the night even, but it's
going to be a very good fight.
Yeah, I don't know if Means ankles are going to hold up. I don't know if one's going to break again when he gets punched. Like, there's just a lot of.
Yeah, I'm not.
There's a lot of questions here.
Yeah,
not enough answers.
Next up in the lightweight division, we have a fight between Beneil Dariush and Scott Holtzman. Right now, Dariush is a minus 175 favorite, and the comeback on Holtzman is a plus 155 underdog. Who do you got in this one?
So I think that, this is another one of my pretty confident picks on the card, if I'm being honest. I really like how, overall, I like Beneil Dariush's skill set. I think that he utilizes it pretty well. I think he's got some questions about his chin, I guess, and about his chin durability, because he was put away by Alexander Hernandez and
Barboza.
Yeah, and Barboza with that knee, and he was dropped even in his last fight against Jakar Close, which Jakar Close.
He was wait, no, let's not go there. He was not dropped in that fight. He was rocked, but he was not dropped.
Rocked. Okay, sorry. Yeah, he was rocked.
No, because I know people who are betting Scott Holtzman are saying how Dariush gets rocked in almost every fight, and
yeah. I mean,
that kind of narrative.
Yeah, exactly. But either way, he didn't get dropped. My mistake. He got rocked.
And it was incredible the way he came back, though.
Yeah, but and exactly, he's a BJJ guy with really good stand up. I think his stand up is better than Holtzman. I don't know who Holtzman has beaten, who's in Beneil's league.
Jim Miller.
It's that now people are having this recency bias about Jim Miller, thinking he's this god because he had the great performance against Roosevelt. So now because of that, Holtzman gets all this credit for beating Roosevelt Roberts also somehow in this fight, and now that's what's coming in these odds. I think I got Beneil at minus 160. I love it. I'm still think he's a parlay piece at minus one. What is he, 180 now?
He's minus 175, so he's coming back down a little bit on him, which I'm happy about.
Yeah, so I think he's still a parlay piece. Honestly, I think him with Nazareth and Zalal is really, really playable, very winnable.
Yes.
And overall,
All three of those are very winnable
yeah,
bets.
and so I'm going to probably parlay those three up. And I also just personally see Dariush getting a finish. I'm not sure if it will be by KO or sub. So that's, and I know that Holtzman hasn't been put away, but yeah, he's another. Vanille is going to be another part of my greasy parlay at the end of the night. My
Yep.
private parlay is I'm putting inside the distance with Dariush and maybe three inside the distance, and maybe Dariush, Zalal, and Hatchbrat. We'll see where that gets me.
All right. I'm absolutely all over Dariush.
Yes.
I feel like it gets disrespected not just only by the odds makers but by the UFC as well. He's on a 4-fight win streak. He's finished 2 out of his 4.
And how old is Benil Dariush?
He's only 31 years old, people. 31.
He just has gray in his hair. He just has some gray in his hair that all of a sudden makes.
Old.
He's 31. He was knocked out 6 UFC fights ago.
Yeah, a long time ago.
By a guy on 10 seconds notice.
So, I mean, things happen in your careers. He came and he got over it. He's on a 4-fight win streak, finished 2 of his last, in that time. He should be fighting someone in the top 15. He shouldn't be fighting someone like Scott Holtzman. Scott Holtzman is 36 years old. He hasn't fought anyone in the top 15 ever, not once. His best win was Jim Miller, who we know Dariush is levels above. So this is a pretty big step up in competition. Holtzman looks good on the feet, but his grappling is really bad. I feel like he's going to get his back up. And then you're talking about a guy that got wrestle fucked by Nick Lentz.
Yeah.
He's not that many fights removed from losing to Nick Lentz unanimously. Take it down, numerous times.
Yeah, and Jakar Close also was never finished before, and Dariush finished him with that overhand. So, I mean, I think Dariush finishes him here. Dariush is shown to be a finisher, and I just don't think – I think Holtzman –
Dariush has more ways to win. And you're talking about Scott Holtzman. He's got 1 knockout in his entire UFC career, and that was 4 years ago.
Yep.
It's not going to happen here.
I'm with you.
Yeah. Dariush is rolling, and we're cashing out on him.
I think he's he's one of my most – I think he's my most confident of those 3 favorites, to be honest with you. I mean, I know Zalal is just because I guess Zalal would be. But, I mean, Benil is right there. I'm really confident in him. So
yeah, I'm like I said, I'm confident in all 3 of those. Mm-hmm. And they're all giving you a plus 165 if parlayed all together. So still pretty good. All right. So next up in the women's bantamweight division, we have a fight between Julia Stoliarenko and Yana Kunitskaya. Right now, Yana is a minus 220 favorite, and Julia is a plus 180 underdog. Who do you got in this fight?
No one really. This is just like, I mean, Yana can keep it like in that kickboxing range and kind of blitzing her, and just probably pick up a decision win. But that's no fun. So, like, if I'm betting on this fight, I'm going to take a shot at Stoliarenko to get one of those arm bars, and so
just because.
Yeah, just for fun. I mean, she's got 1 in 30 seconds, 1 in 19 seconds, 1 in 20 seconds against him. 4-1, a 0-0, and a 2-3 girl. Yana 12-5, but Yana's not beat anybody of real note either. So.
But she at least fought decent competition.
She has fought decent competition. And she made the 3rd round against Aspen Ladd, so I would think she'd be able to handle Stoliarenko, who that didn't look very good on the Ultimate Fighter, didn't look very good after it. I can't even bet Stoliarenko here. Yana by decision, but that probably doesn't.
That's pretty much literally the only bet. But I wouldn't even bet. I'm not betting any low-level MMA, women's MMA
and
fight.
Yana by decision is what minus 160 or something.
Yeah, something crazy like that. There's no point.
There's nothing to do here. I don't know why this fight is fourth from the top. I don't know why it's even on the card. I just don't know why. I wish I could take the underdog, though. I wanted to take her, but I can't do it. It's just stupid. That's just donating money.
You're throwing money away just to hit on a dog.
Exactly. Donate your money if you're going to bet on Stolyarenko. Donate it to something like whatever your favorite.
Please.
But not your bookie. Don't donate this to a bookie.
Donate it for better things. Just not here.
It is kind of a disrespectful line on Yana, man.
Considering who she's fought against, yeah,
it's kind of rough.
You got Julia, who fought in the Tough House and didn't look good against horrible competition in the Tough House. She didn't even fight anybody good.
No.
And then she goes back over to where she's from and fights I don't know who and wins a split decision.
Yeah.
And she's only a plus 180 underdog. What?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's no play here but Yana by decision to get you close to even money, and even then, just leave it alone.
Yeah.
Who in the world is betting on that fight? Like, what kind of degenerate people are betting on that fight?
I don't know. I'm leaving that for anybody else to bet on, but me. Don't want either one of these two. I'm just gonna pass. No dog or pass, just pass.
Yep. Yeah, me too.
Next up in the middleweight division, we have a fight between Darren Stewart and Maki Pitolo. Right now, Stewart's a minus 145 favorite, and comeback on Pitolo is a plus 125 underdog. What do you got?
This is like low key at one of the most fascinating fights on the card. Like you at first look at it, you're just like, oh, it's just gonna be two guys standing and banging, and like, what? Wait, is it? I don't know. Like, I think both of these guys possibly may look to mix it up into the MMA realm at different points. I think this is gonna be a hell of a fight. I think it's gonna be really good. I think that both guys are gonna hurt each other at certain points, and maybe with Maki, once he hurts you, you don't have the chance to recover. He's kind of shown so. Maybe Maki is able to put away Stewart. I'm betting Stewart here. I'm a big fan of Stewart. I get in his last performance against Bartosz Fabinski. He shit the bed completely. I understand that. Bartosz Fabinski goes in there and fights his fight no matter who he's fighting. But, just with Maki, I'm not sure if I'm a complete believer with him at 185 yet. He beat Charles Byrd, who I've quickly found out how just horrifically terrible that guy is and how close he is to retirement.
He already retired.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that adds up. He fought like he was retired. I just think Stewart is going to be the better MMA guy here. I think it's going to be really close though. I really think this could be close. I think that either guy could put the other guy away. Either guy could squeak out a decision here. And I just like Stewart a little more everywhere. I like his experience. And I think coming off the loss of Babinski, he's going to be really focused and fight one of his better fights in the UFC here and beat the blown-up 170er in Maki Pitolo.
He's not a blown-up 170. He's not a blown-up 170er because he used to fight at middleweight.
Yeah, well, we all make mistakes.
So I'm going with Maki Pitolo for my third underdog on this fight card. I think he's just the better fighter. Stewart has done nothing for me to show me that he's actually good. He doesn't have this crazy power that people are painting him with. He's only got 2 knockouts in his UFC career. He doesn't throw a ton of volume. Pitolo throws massively more volume. He's got hands. He's got power. He's got grappling, as he's shown in his last fight. and he just looks healthier at 185. He looks bigger, more powerful, and I think that's going to be helpful for him dealing with damage and the cardio woes. This is going to be an absolute savage war between Stewart and Patolo, but I'm taking the dog here and the younger, fresher fighter in Patolo at plus 125. Love it.
Okay, well, this is, I think, our first disagreement on the card.
I think so. I think it is. We pretty much are the same on everything else. So
yeah, I like it.
This is
a worthwhile. This is a worthwhile disagreement, and we will see. I think that
we will see.
Yeah,
who gets this win. But anyways, next up in the co-main event of the evening, we have Chris Weidman back in the UFC against Omari Akhmadov. Right now, Weidman's a minus 140 favorite, and the comeback on Akhmadov is a plus 120 underdog. Does Weidman finally get his win? Does he?
Yes, he does. Omari Akhmadov is the one who breaks the streak. And
butchered his name big time. Butchered his name.
Yeah, and thank God that I don't really need to understand how to say that name. I am not a fan of Omari. I never have been. I'm never going to be. Like, he did fine against Zach Cummings. He did fine against Ian Heinisch. Like, he did fine against Tim Boetsch. Did enough in each one of those fights, but, like, I don't think he's going to be putting away Weidman in this fight, and I don't think he's going to be out game planning and out grappling and out wrestling Weidman in this fight either. Weidman's back at 185 where he's supposed to be. I think he's looking like he's in good shape. He's been training with Wonder Boy, so a switch up in camps here, which I don't think is the worst thing in the world for him. I think that he's able to come into this fight against Omari. I think most likely put him away somewhere in the second or third round. Would be my prediction for Weidman. I got Weidman. I think that I just don't see how he loses this fight to Omari. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm probably going with Weidman too. I don't know if it's maybe because I'm just a fan of his and I really want him to get a win. But I just think he's a better fighter. I mean, he's fought better competition, beaten better competition. He was a champion at one point. His chin started giving out at maybe he's fresher now, being some time off, and that it's just a question mark. That's the only thing. But the thing is, Akhmadov doesn't have a ton of power. He's not a power puncher. He's a grappler. So if he just doesn't get caught, he should kind of win. Like
exactly,
easily,
right?
You know? So you're pretty much banking on him not to get knocked out. I know he's been knocked out numerous times, but the guys he's been knocked out by, Dominic Reyes, I mean, who else? The litter of people are definitely more powerful strikers than Akhmadov here. So I would take Weidman here, maybe via decision.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I have a specific lean one way or the other with how Weidman, but yeah, Jacare, he's not Jacare, he's not Mousasi, he's not Yoel Romero.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not Luke Rockhold back before he got
cracked. Yeah, and he's not Yoel Romero flying knee Yoel Romero.
yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I got Weidman here. I just think this is Weidman breaking that 1-5 streak he's been on.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to give him a winnable fight, and that's why they paired him up with Omari. So, next up in the main event of the evening, we have a fight between Alexei Oleinik and Derek Lewis. Right now, Lewis is a minus 185 favorite, and the comeback on Oleinik is a plus 160 underdog. Who do you got in the main event?
I think I said it last week on the podcast, but you could lock down Alexei at plus 225. I had already done it. And there wasn't a question in my mind where I was going on this bet with Oleinik. I do respect Lewis. I really respect his power and everything like that. But that's pretty much it with Lewis. I think that he's pretty easily taken down. I think that his methods for getting up are asking to be, give me your arm, give me your shoulder, give me your neck. All these things that Olynyk's going to love to do. Olynyk's going to hang on him. Olynyk's going to get him down, and I think early he's going to be able to get him submitted within the first 2 rounds. So I got Alexei at plus 225. I think there's a reason this line keeps moving towards Alexei. I think now the value's kind of gone on getting Alexei necessarily, but he's still going to go in there, and I think he's going to get another submission and get his 60th MMA win. And I think that Lewis, I know, is claiming he's in great shape and everything, but I don't know if he's ever in great shape. And also, if Lewis finally gets in great shape, I don't know if that necessarily is something that helps someone like Lewis. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying, those guys who just never like properly prepared, all of a sudden that becomes the focus of how they prepare. It changes how they fight, and it isn't necessarily better for them in the long run. So I think all those things considered, even if but I'm anticipating him coming in. If he's coming in at 266, I'm just licking my chops here because that is, if he's coming at, 250, 253, I'd be a little more worried, honestly. But either way, shape or not in shape, I still think Olynyk, his skill level, his submission, his grappling ability, he's gonna. I think he can even, kind of stun Lewis. When Lewis gets stunned on his feet, he kind of turns away once he gets kind of popped with shots too. So as long as Olynyk can, avoid that power, which can happen at any point, and if this gets into the 3rd, 4th round, I get really worried as Olynyk just kind of plots forward and stands in front of him. They could get kind of dusted, but I'm not going to bet on that here. I got Olynyk. I've had Olynyk since last week. I'm not changing.
I am 100% with you. If you guys were listening early on, I said I had 4 dogs on this card. I already gave you 3. So the last dog on this card is Alexei Olynyk. I got him at plus 185. Not as great as plus 225, but still got a good price. Plus 185. Great value. He looked immaculate in his last performance against Verdum. He just looked in great shape for his age. I mean, he looked the best he's ever looked. He was the lightest than he's ever been. He was super fast, super strong. And I don't know when the last time we've seen a good performance from Lewis. It's been years.
Yeah.
He's been losing majority of his last couple fights. He definitely was losing that fight against Volkov before he got the knockout. I think he lost his fight against I forgot his name. The guy that used to fight at WSO.
Shamil Abdurakhimov?
No, the one after that. The little guy. God, he's not even little. He's 5'10". He's bigger than me, but you know what I mean. Anyways,
Blagoy?
Yeah.
Yeah. He definitely did lose that fight to Blagoy. Yeah.
Okay, so you're talking about all these fights.
Alir took him down.
Alir Latifi, we're getting there. Alir Latifi took him down, okay? So if Alir Latifi's taking him down, if Olynyk gets him down, okay? If Olynyk gets him down, he's going to get his patented Ezekiel choke once again. Lewis is a fish out of water off his back. He can't get up. As we've seen against Alir Latifi, the ref had to stand him up because he wasn't doing anything. So I don't see where Lewis should ever be a minus 200, 220 favorite. That was just out of the possibilities. There's no way he should have been that heavy of a favorite. I don't think he should be minus 185 right now. That's why I still think there's value, because this should be a pick and fight. You're still getting 60 cents more to the dollar than where I think this line should be.
Yeah.
I'm telling you guys, they still bettable. Go bet on Alexei Olynyk over Derek Lewis. Even if he loses, I'm okay with this loss because I just think he's the better fighter. You're gaining still a good price, and you're pretty much banking on Lewis getting a knockout to win here. So I'm taking Olynyk here. I think he's got more ways to win.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and I don't think that either guy is looking to make this a decision, but I think honestly that Olenek has just as much, if not a better chance of winning a decision as Lewis. I
Yeah,
don't think
I agree.
I just don't know how. I don't see Lewis piecing together 3 rounds out of
I just
5.
don't see how this can ever go to a decision. They
I agree.
might collapse
No, I agree.
before it even makes it makes to the
And if
fourth.
they collapse, it would be on the floor, which is where Olenek needs it. So
Exactly.
it's all
So
Olenek.
yeah, before we head out though, you have to give everyone your patented prop parlay so they can cash out
All right.
this weekend.
Yeah, so I'll give you my 3 we'll say the 3 fight prop parlay here. So this is just I don't know exactly what the odds will be on this because they come out later.
So it's this would be the Aaron the dog
Hail Mary
parlay. Hail Mary parlay.
Yeah, this is just like a 3 to 4 fight hyper specific fight pick that I make. So for the Contender Series, it was the over under on all 4 fights. For this one, it's just I'm gonna go through right now, and it's the ones that I look at and I just my gut heart feeling. So Zalal inside the distance. We'll take Janes inside the distance. We'll take Buckley inside the distance.
Oh wow!
And we'll take Alexi inside the distance. So whatever that gets you to.
Okay, hold on. Let's do the numbers before we head out. Okay, so we got Zalal.
And I will put money on this. I will 100% be putting $50 on this at least. So that's my own personal. So we got Zalal inside the distance, Justin James inside the distance. You know what? I want my Hail Mary to actually come in. So we're going to do Zalal inside the distance, Justin James inside the distance, Nazareth inside the distance, and Alexi inside the distance.
Zalal. My computer's super slow. I'll get there, though.
Yep, no problem.
So Zalal by decision. There we got by inside the distance. Okay, Gina's inside the distance at plus 240. That's already plus 665.
Nazareth inside the distance.
There we got Nazareth Hack Press inside the distance at plus 140. And that brings it to plus 1736 at the moment.
And Olenek inside the distance. And I only do this because I'm Bovada. I can't parlay specific. So I have to do inside the distance or distance to parlay.
And then Olenek inside the distance at plus 180 brings your total to plus 5,041.
And let me just just say really quick what that is. And to get you plus 5,000 odds. This is not crazy. Is Zalal finishing Slippery Pete crazy? Zalal has, I believe, 6 or 7 finishes. Is Justin James finishing Gavin Tucker that crazy?
Definitely not.
Definitely not to me. Nazareth finishing an untested Munoz. Not that crazy to me.
You're talking the line is only plus 140 on the inside the distance prop too. So the odds makers are thinking if Nazareth wins, it's going to be inside the distance.
And I'm fairly confident he does win. And then Alexi Olenek, you're basically choosing what his line is anyways, but that's the way he's winning anyways. So
yeah,
again, you need those 4 to finish for plus 5,000. That's that when I have those first 3 come in and all of a sudden it's down to that Olenek, everybody all of a sudden is like, man, that's such easy. And then Olenek does it, then all of a sudden it's easy money. It's just you gotta find this value ahead of time. That's a plus 5,000 parlay. I literally just put a bet in myself on, and
$10 wins you $500. People,
$10. Yeah,
$10. I'm about to go spend double that on McDonald's after this podcast is over.
Exactly, and get nothing out of it. And you saw how I was doing in real time there. I almost went super greedy and went with the Buckley splash, but you don't need to do that in these crazy parlays. Like if I want to take a splash on Buckley, I'm going to just do that separately. because like honestly, like it's like at that point I'm really tempting the fade. 5,000 is plenty. So there's my parlay. I can promise one of those every single week. I will always bet on those. I have bet on them. I hit a plus 3,800 last week. I hit a plus 1,800 earlier this week. And I'm always going to mention them. I'm not the professional here. This is heart gambling betting, but I'm telling you, you're risking a very small amount, and I've already hit 2 of them. I've already hit more of them than that. So, get this money. Get this plus 5,000. I would love to hear from anybody who hits, this parlay as well. It's out there.
Definitely, guys. Let us know if you're getting this money with us. Send us your screenshots. Let us know. Shout us out. We want to hear it. We want to know, how well you guys have been doing cashing these bets. But we're out of here. We will be back Tuesday for the Contender Series to give you some more money.
Yeah, Monday.
Tuesday nights.
Yeah. So, and have we decided we're officially Tuesday right before the Contender Series?
I think it's Tuesday. Tuesday before the Contender Series. We will be on live giving you guys some bets.
So you definitely want to stay tuned if you want, again, plus 1,800 parlay on Tuesday.
We are going to just
we will drop it. We will drop it. Yeah, right. Absolutely.
Signing off. So where can everybody find you, my man?
You can just find me. I'm Aaron Jay Brooks on Twitter. If you do want to, have any, if you're curious on any other greasy bets I'm making, I'll always be open with them. I won't advertise them, but I'm open with them, and they're fun when they hit. And I also am making, a few other moves with regards to that. But just find me on there. I'll be around. But otherwise, yeah. That's pretty much it. I'll be here every Tuesday and Thursday.
All right. You guys know where to find me at Fight Analyst on Twitter and The Fight Analyst on Instagram and Facebook. Guys, head over to thefightanalyst.com. Get my fight card right now. We got Bellator tomorrow night. We got UFC on Saturday. We're up 30 units in the last 3 weeks. I'm the #1 capper on flippick.com right now. You're talking 28, 80%, 28% ROI, and over $2,100 profit in just the last 3 weeks. It's crazy money, and we're just going to keep it going. So with that said, we will catch you guys cashing out the ticket window. Until next time, we're out of here.